Hey everybody, how you doing? It had been a while since I've done a video, so I thought it was time to check in. Um, so I'm in 2 more days, it'll be 18 months since I stopped taking opiates. And October 10th was a year since my last rescue dose of Ativan, other than like 2 or 3 doses when I was in the emergency room this summer having cardiac issues. But as far as at-home doses, it's been a year and a month. I've been in treatment for 10 or 11 weeks. And I just had a housemate tell me tonight, he says, I've really noticed a difference in the last week to 10 days. And I've felt a difference in the last week to 10 days. I am feeling a lot of emotions. I cry a lot. In fact, quite often if I'm talking about my emotions or my feelings, tears will come because for so long I was told that wasn't okay and I tried to stifle them or I was shamed about them. And I think my body and my brain is saying there's no shame in tears. I am getting ready to transition out of here probably in a week to 2 weeks. It's been a very hard decision of what's going to be next. I haven't had any income at all or any ability to earn income in almost 120 days. And that's a first ever in my life for many, 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 many years. Even when I had time off and was in treatment before, I had at least disability money coming in from my work, but I don't have anything, and that's kind of stressful because I have old debts, I have needs, and so I've had to make some really hard decisions. I've been without my Shasta for the whole time I've been here, and that's really hard, and I was really kind of trying to gear myself up that we were going to be reunited soon, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to do that for her and for me. I have applied for a variety of positions as a live-in caregiver to try to find housing and some income, but most of the ones that really wanted me and that I would have been qualified for were literally 24/7, 365 days a year, pretty much. Just a couple days off a month. And where I'm at right now, that's just not the best for me. I have a lot of things in place that I have literally waited 6 years to get in motion. I have referrals to a pain specialist. I have referrals to a neurologist for some testing of my reflexes and my muscles, as well as to have some neurocognitive testing done because I feel that I have lost some cognitive abilities through my being polydrugged over the last 7 years. I also am working with, getting ready to work with the IRS on some old tax bills that I need to take care of. And I also am getting ready to go into Voc Rehab. My hope is that they will help me get my nursing license back. So if I am able to do any work at all, I can at least do it for a decent income using the skills and the abilities that I honed for quite some time. So with that said, it appears if I'm accepted that I'm going to be going to a women's transitional house here in the same area I'm at. There's 10 women in there at a time, 2 dorm rooms, and there's some anxiety around that. You know, women from different walks of life. Some of them are coming out of prison, and that's not a venue that I have had to deal with, and so there's some anxiety around that. But I know that while I've been here, I put some really good tools in my tool bag, and I have some really great support. I am attending, besides Gamblers Anonymous, which I've been a member of Gamblers Anonymous for 23 years, I also am going to Codependence Anonymous meetings, and that's enlightening. Yes, I am a codependent. And while I'd worked on a few of those things through other teachings and trainings I've had, it hasn't been out in my forefront, and now it is. And so I am trying to apply the principles of that program into my life. I also am attending Refuge Recovery. It is a Buddhist-inspired recovery program, but it is not in any way detracting from my Christianity or my faith. It's just an addition. So for my Christian friends, if you're watching this, don't freak out that I've become a Buddhist. Oh my gosh. Which I don't think that would be so bad, just to be honest. The Buddhists have some really wise practices. But the meditations really are helping me relax, helping me focus, stay centered. So that's kind of where things are. I've had a lot of aha moments while I've been here. I kind of am able to see, I was very aware of my behaviors that were less than desirable while I was coming off the benzos and the opiates. I acted out. Partially that was because of the way my brain was reacting, and I really wasn't able to control that or even manage it at the time. And even in the time since then, I've been in reactionary, partially because my brain is still trying to recover, and I've been in post-acute withdrawal syndrome from coming off so many medications, and I've still been withdrawing medications. I'm down to 12.5 milligrams of Seroquel, and that is it. Otherwise, all I'm using is cannabis, and it is working very well for me. I am feeling accomplished in the fact that I did advocate for myself to be able to continue to use cannabis while I was here. And I have also advocated for myself to use it at the transitional house. I went in prepared, and after a little bit of conversation, they asked about medications, and I gave them my list of all the medications I've come off of in the last 4 years, or that I was prescribed to no longer take. And then I told them how I manage my various conditions. And they were open to it. And so, even though this particular house has a zero tolerance policy, they are taking it to their board, because I told them I use it as a medication, and it works for me as a medication to treat pain, anxiety, depression, PTSD, inflammation, and it also helps with neuroplasticity so that my brain can heal. And all it takes is a person having a little bit of understanding and knowing one other person that is doing what I'm doing, and they tend to be a little more open-minded. So these women that interviewed me heard me out, and they said that they would go to their board and advocate for me. So I should know in another day or two, let's see, Friday or Monday probably, um, if that's where I'm going. My hope is that I just stay there through the winter, work on some of the things I'm working on with my health issues, working on with folk rehab, um, working on getting my nursing license back, and taking care of a few other things that I have that I'm working on, and that I'm either awarded my disability or I'm able to have my nursing license back and find part-time work that I can manage to take care of myself. Homelessness is really hard, and I think I've handled homelessness pretty well. I did it differently. I stayed in the country, bought a trailer to live in. People lent me a tent, and I stayed on someone's property. Being homeless in the streets in a city, I couldn't do that. I just couldn't. And those that have to do it, my heart aches for them. They didn't ask for that. I promise you. I promise you. Yes, some of them may seem that that's their choice because they're angry and belligerent against the world. They're that way because something really bad happened. The newest studies show that people with addictions, it's not because they have character flaws. While they might have some, they also have an underlying condition of either trauma, which literally pretty much everyone that has an addiction has had trauma. And then people like myself, compulsive gamblers, the studies show that I have an underlying abnormal resting arousal state. That's what the scientific evidence shows. I was born the way that I am. Very, very empathetic, very feeling, very emotional. And there's a lot of judgment around that. People who feel deeply. It's a hard life for us. I literally can sit next to somebody that is really struggling and feel their energy, and it's painful. It's really painful. And it affects me. But while I've been here, I've learned tools. I've learned coping mechanisms. And while I can't control my mind or my emotions, I can learn and am learning how to manage them better. But it's work, and I'm not perfect at it, nor will I ever be. But I am learning. I don't know what my future looks like. Nobody does, even if you think you have it all planned out. I promise you, life happens regardless of your plans. And the struggles I've gone through in the last 7 years, I mean, I had recovery. I was working a recovery program that entire time. But between life happening, meaning my health deteriorating to where I couldn't provide for myself, and then other people reacting and behaving badly who weren't sick, who just were reacting badly, and took away my home in that time, it just made it so I couldn't manage. I couldn't manage without my trailer. I didn't know how to do that. I'm not going to ever be able to go back to that. It's gone, and I know that now. And while my anger has dissipated and I am able to accept what happened, it's going to be a while before the hurt goes all the way because people that I trusted took advantage of my situation. And that was really hurtful. People that I thought that loved me. So I've also learned I have to be very careful of where I am giving my love away. Even people who you would presume would be safe to love and to share love with, doesn't always work out that way. I'm going to be very, very cautious of who I let in my life because I am a sensitive person and I'm tired of being hurt. So boundaries. Anyway, I'm probably going to post this on my blog because it popped up on Facebook that my very first blog post was 5 years ago today. So I wanted to do another post, and so this will be part of it. And since that 5 years happened, I've learned so much and I've experienced so much. You know, I've learned about diet and I've learned about farming and I've learned about chickens and I've learned about people and I've learned about depression and anxiety and pharmaceuticals and cannabis. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of lessons. Life is a lesson. Humanity is the biggest science project ever. Truly. Anyway, those of you that have followed and encouraged and prayed for me, thank you so much. I wouldn't have made it without you. My benzo buddies, you know who you are. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to those that are haters, because there's always going to be haters, hate all you want. It's not going to affect me. I'm just going on with my life. And you have your truth and I have mine. So hate away. I'm hopeful. I'm scared, but I'm hopeful for the first time in a long, long time that I can get back on my feet and that I do have a voice and what I have to say and what I have to share is worthwhile and that I can be effectual in change in the world because I'm doing it. Anyway, if you're struggling coming off benzos or on benzos, if you're struggling coming off any pharmaceutical or opiate, if you are struggling with anxiety and depression, there is hope. There is help. You have to get creative sometimes. You have to ask the right people, and that's the hardest thing is finding the right people. But I encourage you, keep asking. Keep seeking. Be kind to yourself. Really, be kind to yourself. Give yourself a break. You didn't ask for all these trials. Some of it just happened. Anyway, I wish you all the best. And just keep your chin up. And when you need to pull your bootstraps up, let somebody help you. You don't have to do it all by yourself. All right? Peace.